folks, welcome to the Sunday Politics. Nick Clegg says Chris Rennott must apologise. What for, say his friends? With our senior Lib Dem Minister Danny Alexander, whose side he's on.
And in the southeast, we have the highest number of deaths from one asbestos-related cancer. So does a new law which gives compensation to sufferers of mesothelioma go far enough? A year than road traffic accidents, and the southeast has the highest number of incidents in the country. Mesothelioma is a type of cancer caused by exposure to asbestos. For many sufferers, claiming compensation has been difficult, but a new law is about to make it easier. But does it go far enough? Our reporter Sarah Neville went to speak to sufferers and campaigners to find out why they say the bill is a missed opportunity.
I started in 1953 as a shipwright apprentice at 15.
Ray Nye from Sea Salter in Kent worked at Chatham Dockyard, in heavy industry like thousands of people in the southeast, where use of asbestos was widespread. He married his childhood sweetheart, Mavis, but 60 years on, Mavis has mesothelioma, an aggressive form of lung cancer caused by breathing in asbestos fibres whilst washing her husband's work clothes.
I've said ever since that diagnosis that it's me, it's my fault, that I give it to her, because I brought it home on my clothes. We've discussed this at length, because I still feel guilty.
But I don't think he should be guilty. The government in that time should feel guilty.
Nearby in Sheppey, Italian Roberto Zambada was a shipbreaker. He died from mesothelioma 2 years ago after working with asbestos for some 30 years.
I've been on my own and I've just sobbed, and you know, because I knew there was nothing I can do.
They never put themselves in that situation to develop this horrible disease. People knew, in the know, knew and chose not to do anything about it. So people should be held accountable.
The southeast has one of the highest rates of mesothelioma in the world. It's incurable, usually kills within months of diagnosis, and has 10 times less funding for research than some other cancers.
It can take decades for mesothelioma to develop, which makes claiming compensation difficult because many of the firms where asbestos was used no longer exist. Historically, for those who could trace their company or their company's insurers, damages of up to £200,000 could be claimed in civil actions. But for those that couldn't, there was no hope of any significant payout until now.
The government's introducing a new £350 million compensation scheme worth an average of £115,000 per person as part of the mesothelioma bill. It's a positive step, but the deal is capped at 75% of the average amount of compensation that sufferers would have received in a civil case. And there's a cut-off point for eligibility. Anyone diagnosed before July 2012 can't claim. And there's no extra cash for research. So all in all, is this a good deal for sufferers?
I think that the insurance industry negotiated hard with the government ordinarily get if they'd gone through a civil process. I tried to get that raised to 80%. I think that would have meant a better deal for victims of mesothelioma, and it would have not cost the insurance industry a great deal of amount of money more. So I think it's a bit of a shame that the government didn't push a little bit harder.
Mavis Nye, who now campaigns on the issue, feels let down.
There's a lot going on in USA and Australia, but not us. Not to the extent that they are. They're really sort of plunging the money into it all, and we just need some money for research.
I feel that if anybody was to unintentionally take somebody's life, they're up for manslaughter, aren't they? And yet